freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high-quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low-cost supermarket, Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Judicial Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Cunupia. Judicial Limited, quality you can trust.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Welcome to the home of Pure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. In an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall to our state-of-the-art bottling facility, situated on an ancient underground lake. We're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse. To breathe life into every bottle of pure water, without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients: water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers. Of course, you did not want to know what I was doing just about a minute ago. Well, I could tell you because, you know, I'm looking a little low. If you could just give me a little raise there, Justin, go back to the wide and then just give me a little raise up on the... All right, very good. This is the joy of digital. So basically what happened is that while coming down the stairs, I see two little kittens blocking the stairs. So I decided to hold one of them and, well, mistake number one, you do not hold a kitten with black. And then I only realized when I reached in studio here that my entire clothes was covered with fur. So I was trying to pluck out and take out and whatever. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to tell you, but if you see any stuff on my shirt, it is, or jacket, what I'm going to tell you. Such is life, right? Anyway, welcome to Breaking Barriers, my friends. Of course, this program is viewed every single Wednesday evening here on IBN Channel 8. Of course, for those of you who don't know, I'm the CEO of IBN Channel 8, and of course, my wife, she owns the building. I own what is inside. No, just kidding about that, right? And also, this, someone asked me, well, when are you planning to move IBN from bamboo? Could we get our sponsor, by the way, guys? Yeah, let me just welcome our good friend, Tile Expression. And remember, at Tile Expression, they have so much new tiles. Every single week, it's like a container is coming in. So make sure and check them out, especially if you're building a kitchen and you're using the fantastic PVC board that you're getting here from my company. Go to them and check them for the granite countertops or for the quartz countertops. It works perfectly. It pairs well. All right. So, yeah, as I was saying before, what happens is that before I stepped into the studio here, we were having a little discussion, and I was being asked via phone, of course, when we plan to move the station from bamboo, because our family wants to come in, but they are so afraid of the bamboo. IBN is never going to move. In fact, this property that sits here, even if, God forbid, my family were to have financial problems, this land remains because my father and mother toiled endlessly to put this land where it is. And of course, I am here now. My brother recently moved out of Bamboo Number 2. He now lives in Valsayn South. And one of the things that I could tell you is that for me, holding on to the things that your parents work hard for means a lot to me. Like I was telling my daughter the other day, I was sitting down, and men have a habit of irritating their daughters or their children, as the case may be. And I don't know if you do it, Moody, that sometimes when they tell you, God, you can't chew quiet. Moody? Every day. So my daughter told me, she said, Dad, why you have to chew so loud? And you know what I did? I started to chew even louder. And one of the things that I told her, and I see she looked at me and she didn't know what to say afterwards. I said, my father passed away over 30 plus years ago, right? Over 30 plus years ago. In fact, you're talking about 32, 33 years ago. And my father, when I sat down at the table, and I mentioned this a little while ago, he used to knock his teeth because my father, of course, at his age, he had dentures. And it would knock, and that would irritate the hell out of me. But you know what, boy? When you begin to get older and you begin to understand, one of the things that I would give anything to hear again is that teeth knocking. Right? That is how much I miss that man called my father. And I continue to say we as this generation, this is the last sensible generation. A lot of the generations coming up now is what I call the nonsensical generation, where we are seeing so many people tied into their phones. Look at what took place when the internet and electricity shut down for one day. Children started to circle their house as if they were going mad. They did not have internet. They didn't know what to do. Imagine that. They didn't know what to do. You see, the sad reality is that we live in a time where everything is tied into this thing called a phone. We have our life. We have our banking information. We have our business. We make our phone calls. This is a fax machine. This is a message center and everything. So it's tied into here. But a lot of stupidness I saw in Montana that they're actually banning TikTok. And that's in the US. They're actually banning TikTok. Not for what it should be banned for, but for privacy concerns where China is concerned. Because what happens is that they had some concerns about China and stealing people information, and TikTok should be banned throughout the world. Because I was asking, I communicate with China quite frequently. In fact, before I came on air here, I was talking to one of our suppliers, and I was asking her about TikTok, and she was telling me that, and I sent some screenshots. And, she said, no, they cannot have those things on TikTok there. And they are very limited. And in most cases, if they have to get access to anything, it has to be done illegally. And if the Chinese government catch it, they could kill you. And this is how, you know, we are so stupid. Huh? We are so stupid as we watch our young generation fill their brain with nonsense. I mean, imagine China has TikTok, and the TikTok that they have is for educational purposes, where you see videos that help to improve you as a human being. But all over the world, they feed cesspit. They feed the cesspit all over the world, where pornography is now rampant. And by the way, for those of you adults who are outside there, I don't think that any child under 16 should be on TikTok, because TikTok is not even, in fact, I find TikTok is not even appropriate for children under 21. Because sometimes you're looking at simple things, and when you flip, so boom, all you're seeing is a woman with 99% of everything off. And you wonder if women these days, many of these women and them have any shame. Because there was a time when a woman couldn't even raise her voice across the fence, because, you know, you had to cover your voice and you had to carry about yourself a certain way. But nowadays, I mean, I see some women going to church, and when I look at the skirt, and I had mentioned it about 2 weeks ago, where this child was by Price Smart, and this little girl, and the skirt was so short, and this girl couldn't be, what, 10, 11, 12 years? And the child's underwear is exposed with this skirt, and the parent is walking proud. I tell you, the only thing that parent didn't get was 2 bull pistol for her stupidity. And she was with her mother. And you know what's the sad thing? If you as a mother could encourage your child in this rubbish and this filth from young, what do you think is going to happen with that child later on? That child is going to walk out of your house with almost nothing. And you as a parent encourage that. Right? And when people have no respect for your daughter or whatever, she walked down, whose fault it is? But I've always said, children these days, no parent could put their head on a block for any child. It could be mom daughter, it could be the mom son, it could be the pundit daughter. These days, you know, the holiest of the holy does sometimes get the biggest shock of the shock. So you just have to hope and pray that at the end of the day, boy, when it comes, it'll bust your head too hard. Anyway, let me welcome my good friends Neil Shaz to this segment, and I would just like to thank our good friends Neil Shaz for continuing to support us here. I think this is our second or third year they have been with us, and of course, Neil Shaz provides you with all those fantastic European parts that when you go to the local supplier, they just dig out your eye. You just have to take loan. And look, today someone came by me and they were looking for a Navara headlight. Moody, do you know how much for a Navara headlight in the company? A genuine headlight? Right? $13,000. $13,000 for a genuine headlight, a projector headlight. We sell that for $40-something $100. Right? So for me, I have always said that people like Neil Shaz, you know, they have come into the market to not only upset the market, but they have come to do what others should have been doing a long time, providing parts at a fantastic price, and whether it is original or replacement, they could fix you up. All right, so guys, let's start the ball rolling. Let's see where we go from here. You know, the same people we complain about all the time, Moody. All the time, you know, watch where my boy park up, or whoever it is. Watch where that person park up, right? And like I said before, this is in front of Bobby's there. It's a problem that we have had for over 20-something years, and the people of Bamboo have absorbed it. There is a village council in place now, and I'm hoping that the village council starts to act on these things, because it makes no sense you have a village council and they don't act on the things that are important. Watch my boy, and this is next year. And by the way, zoom in a little bit. Right, go to the curl for me. Right, go up. You know what I'm trying to get at, right, Justin? You see the back of that sign there, Moody? That is a no parking sign in Bamboo number. Right? Many people don't know. Come back to me. Do you know that in Bamboo, the whole Bamboo main road is no parking? By law? By law. Look at here. There were approximately 12 signs placed by Gerald Yetming when we had protested and we had begged for the government to do something. And finally, it was put in law where Bamboo number 2 Main Road, no parking, absolutely no parking. And you know what's the sad thing? Some of those same greedy, nasty, disgusting businessmen ended up cutting down the sign within 1 week. But it had a few people who got charged for stupidity. So what I'm asking tonight is the Ministry of Works, through their traffic management branch, could you please come and could you please put up no parking signs in Bamboo number 2 again, especially in those areas where we have issues with parking. I'm also appealing to the traffic wardens, to the ministry and to the TTPS to arrange for traffic wardens to come in Bamboo from Friday to Saturday, from around 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Just 3 hours. Just 3 hours. And share ticket if you have to. Left, right, and center. And I got to talk to my partner, Poya and others, and for we to start back paying for police again, just so that we got to teach a few people a lesson for their stupidity in this area. All right, so before we continue, just before I walked in here, I got a notification from RPM. Some packages have been cleared, duties, etc., and everything sent to me. And these were some stuff that I ordered last week. And as I said before, many people blame courier companies when there are delays in customs. And, I don't blame custom officers there because under the new Asicuda system, things are a lot more efficient. But you see, we have customs officers, unfortunately, who are overworked. And sometimes you put them in certain areas where it's not even conducive for a pig to work there. And you really can't blame some of them. And not only that, they're understaffed in many occasions. So therefore, when you look at packages coming to our country and thousands of packages have to go through, and one thing I've noticed is that there are cuts and tape on every package I bring in, which means that every package is being inspected, which is good. I don't have a problem with that. Right? I mind anybody seeing my long sleeve jock shorts and that is a good thing. Right? So I would like to compliment custom officers, but what I want is for the various ministries to do what is necessary so that the custom officers can be more efficient at what they do. Let's go again, guys. All right. This is Bamboo number 2. I just want to show you something again, right? Zoom in to where that pickup is parked there, guys. Closed it. Zoom in again. Right. Pause. Right in that area there was a no parking sign. All of a sudden, that no parking sign gone. Disappear. Nobody know who take it or thief it. It gone. We're going again. Right? This is another no parking sign down the road that many people don't know exists. But throughout the whole Bamboo number 2 Main Road, this is normal. Oh, and yes, this is the drains that the councillor does take care of in Bamboo number 2. Together with the grass on the side in the savannah, in the play area there, which is about 2 feet tall, and it was only cut this week. This is how our drain looks. And by the way, that picture that you're about to see now, this was the traffic jam. Because of, and you know where that is, Moody? That is approximately by the savannah to Tini by iShops there. Yeah. And this was the traffic jam because of stupid parking by Bobby's up the road, because I was in that jam and it was horrendous. But you see, we take it and we swallow it because that is how stupid we are, most of us. Let's go again, guys. Moody, guess what this is? Guess what this is, Moody? This is engineering at its best. No. Right? No. Right? Yeah, we'll play that video just now. This, remember the big flood it had in Charlieville recently after they cleaned the drains and thing? Yeah. To slow down the flow of water, the Ministry of Works put this. This is engineering in the year 2023. Now, pull that back up for me. Moody, Watch how high the holes are. The water can't pass on the side. Notice what I tell you. These people ain't joke dotish, you know. I wonder if some of these engineers get their qualification in cornflakes box, boy. I mean, this have to be. Nowhere on earth does this exist again, except in the mind of brain-dead people. How could you even think that that thing makes sense? Logical sense, practical sense, engineering sense. How the hell could that make sense? Show that back again for me. Something had to be wrong with these people. And check what happened at the bottom of the drain now. So that is a collection point for garbage now. Now, this is a drain to the back of me. But let the audio run. Go ahead. This is the drain that was recently dredged in the back of my property. Take a look at this. And where is the water flowing? Absolutely nowhere. So now, when you have 5 minutes of rain, it's going to come pouring in. 5 minutes of rain, if so much. So this is the stupidity of the Ministry of Works or the corporation. As usual, many contractors being paid, and this is what is going on. And not only that, I had mentioned before that a road was built for supporters of the UNC to go directly to their house. That is the road there. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent to make road for supporters to go home directly to them. That road never existed, and then all of a sudden it's there. Maybe you all should ask Seema and Khadija Amin about this and find out exactly who is responsible for that. And where does this road lead to? One would expect it to lead behind all the properties here, but it does not. Well, I'm going to tell you, such is life. And that drain was recently dredged. It was recently dredged and sorted out. I don't know who the contractor was. I wasn't there to witness it. But again, the water leads to nowhere because, again, we have idiots at the corporation. We have idiots in the Ministry of Works. And here what happening, some contractor, and by the way, I don't blame the contractor, you know. The contractor getting money for doing nonsense, for doing stupidness. And the work is being approved by engineers, many of them, not all of them, many of them who collecting bribes left, right, and center. Because what other explanation could you offer for an engineer approving many of the work going on, a lot of the work going on throughout Trinidad and Tobago? There is no other explanation. Maybe it is. They need to call professionals. I'm sure if you call the people at Gate Automation Company Limited, who is the #1 supplier of gate motors, by the way, when it comes to service, they don't mix matters. Right, so you can give them a call. They're located right there in Couva. And of course, they don't only do gates. They don't only do gate motors. Of course, they have barriers. And for many of you, you know those slide up, the sliding doors as well, that goes up, right? You can check them out as well. Prices are excellent. And like I said, the service is exceptional. Let's go again, guys. Yeah, let's show that. You know, Muri, I want to ask you a question. Pause. Watch this tractor and tell me if it's not, and I'm not blaming the tractor or the driver or the company who owns this, by the way. I'm just showing this as reference. Tell me if this tractor is going up and down, up and down. Watch it carefully. Go ahead. Correct, right? Yeah. And I'm going 34 kilometers. What is the speed limit on the highway? And this is going how much? 54. I want to ask you a question, right? Come back to me. They are talking about these fellas who raise their vehicles 4 inches above the legal limit. How come it is a backhoe allowed to drive on the highway? I want you to explain that. No, let us see it again. I want to know if a 4x4 vehicle that raised 6 inches more dangerous than this. And this vehicle is going 35 kilometers per hour. And the vehicle is unstable on the highway. Watch. So, Again, I want license office to tell me, because Trinidad is the only country that I see a backhoe running on the highway like normal. What happens is that the reason I know you get, the reason they register these vehicles is so that when you are working on the road, you are legally on the road. But I don't know of any country in the world where a backhoe, a farm tractor that's going on and going down the road, because that is one of the most unstable things. I drive a backhoe. I've been driving a backhoe for the last 10 years. And I know how unstable a backhoe is, right? Especially with the front, when you hear one simple turn and it's trouble. Right? And then if your bunks are backhoe bridges, iron hit it, you know. Let's go again, guys. Yeah. Run that video for me.
But when you're getting pressure with your car and your tire falling a hole so deep as mine did going up on the north coast, as I started in rural community of Brasso Seco last weekend, and day by day I'll be on the ground all over Trinidad and Tobago, you tell me what excuse we can give to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Justin.
Yeah, boss.
I just went secondary school. I only get 3 passes, right? I real dotish, right? Many people have called me dotish. Many people say I'm stupid, especially when I start to talk about Kamala and Rowley. They say I'm real stupid. Maybe it's factual, because I just hear the Minister of Local Government admitting that it's them fault that it have pothole on the road, and admitting that what excuse he could give for it having pothole. Maybe it is Faris more dotish than me, but did I hear correct? Could you play it back one more time, please?
But when you're getting pressure with your car and your tire falling a hole so deep as mine did going up on the north coast, as I started in rural community of Brasso Seco last weekend, and day by day I'll be on the ground all over Trinidad and Tobago, you tell me what excuse we can give to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good. Now the difference between his vehicle going in a hole and mine, right? He have vehicle with super suspension. What means that his vehicle have pothole detector. You understand? Before he hit a pothole, the Porsche does say, excuse me, pothole up the road. And the Porsche does turn for itself. You understand? Not only that, you paying for all the traveling he doing, but not only that, the vehicle that he driving, he get hundreds of thousands in tax exemption, courtesy you. So all the money he saved, if he engine fall out, he could buy one tomorrow. You, on the other hand, gets no exemption. You have to go into every pothole, every rim you damage you have to pay, every tire you damage you have to pay, and it's hard luck for you because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let's go again, guys. Runting. Oh yes, here we go. Members of the police white collar crime unit. It have a white collar crime unit? But where the hell visited the residence of Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine in Lowlands. But look how them does work fast, boy, and searched the premises for several hours yesterday. The search was in relation to the audio recording of THA officials allegedly conspiring to use public funds for propaganda purpose. Isn't that what the PNM does all the time? Isn't that so? I want to ask the question. Let's go again, guys. Right? One of the officers was observed re-entering the home with a number of brown evidence bags. The operation started at around 11:30 a.m. and officers left Augustine's home 3.5 hours later with bulging brown envelopes. Well, normally I know when you have bulging brown envelopes, you're going to the bank. Well, let's go again. All right, so let's welcome our good friends, True Value Home Mart. And let me say something. I need to say this on the outset now. You see, if you're looking for a vacuum, this place have it. They have big vacuum, small vacuum, medium vacuum, vacuum for carpet, vacuum for wood floor, vacuum for carpet and wood floor. They have pet vacuum. They have vacuum if you don't have a pet. They have vacuum if you want a pet. Right? The amount of vacuum these people, they have wet vacuum in case you get flood, which is normal. They have dry vacuum after you mop up and after you drain the wet. They have dry vacuum too. So here what happening. When it comes to vacuum, check out True Value Home Mart, because here what happening, breads. If you stand, they have a vacuum for you. If you sit, vacuum for you too. In fact, they have a vacuum that could vacuum your stairs as well. All kind of attachment. And here what happening, they carry no kind of bogus brand. You're getting Vac-Master, Shop Vac, Stanley, Dirt Devil, Shark, Bissell, Hoover. Since I was a young boy, I know Hoover. MOD? We grew up with Hoover. You understand? And then when you want good mopping, you check and other accessories, you check out Ocida. Check them out right in Sawa, 638-3722. That's 638-3722. And let me just hail out the staff there at True Value Home Mart. And you can check them out online, pillaistore.com. All right, let's go again, guys. Yep. The recording, which is under police investigation, included Farley and another female member of the executive discussing a plan to use public funds for political mileage. I want to ask a question here tonight. Wasn't an allegation made by Gary Griffith about the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago allegedly advising him to use $35 million through the police service to go for political opponents and to hire foreign lawyers and all that thing? I mean, that was an allegation that was in the public domain. What became of that? Did Jacob investigate that? Did Erla investigate that? Because I see Erla going out the road now, but she going out here happening. Other police go out with AK-47, handgun, all kind of fancy equipment. Erla going out with camera crew and makeup. I don't know what to say again. You know. I'll leave that right there. Let's go again, guys. Domestic political terrorism. This is how Anselm Richards, technical advisor in the Division of Finance, Trade and Economy, described the police search of the home of a former chief administrator and other THA officials over the weekend. The search carried out by officers of the anti-corruption, the ACIB, is believed to be part of the probe into a controversial audio clip in which people believed to be high-ranking government officials can be heard planning to use THA resources to fund a political propaganda campaign. Come back to me. You know what is the hardest? Throughout the history that I know of, millions have been used and contractors have given millions of dollars to political parties to fund their propaganda. Many of the media ads that you see, who you think paying for that? Who you think paying for a lot of the PNM ads that are coming out and a lot of the UNC ads? Who you think it is? It's many of those contractors who give the kickbacks to ministers, and not only that, they pay the bills to some of these media houses, and that is where the money comes from. So where's the difference? That is the norm in politics. They use government resources to push propaganda, whether it is the THA, whether it is the PNM. And by the way, who know more propaganda than the wicked, evil administration that we have right now? Who know more propaganda than them? Them is the mother of propaganda. All you ever listen to some of the dons that is represent them on radio, that Tad don't listen to when they're talking their racism? All I ever hear some of them dons and them, that Tad just turn off and Tad just get cocky ears. Tad don't hear them at all. Right? Tad just conveniently close eye even when it's showing on TV. But that is the reality of it, because this is what you have when you have political appointees. And I continue to say that, but that is the next story. Right? So let's go again. This is the Express editorial. After largely ignoring the stink of rotten apples within the rank and file of the police service, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has suddenly, and in the midst of an election campaign, awakened to the problem. Yes, all the time he was in a coma or he was playing golf. Right? Apparently, allegedly, is that where he was. Are we asking a question? And as if greed for money itself were not the source of the problem, is actually proposing to throw money at it. Imagine it. Money is the problem. Where you have contractors receiving contracts for millions of dollars, and these are criminals, gunmen, all kind of thing. And under the PNM, and Gary Griffith had said it, that under the PNM, it have real criminals who have contracts, and there was documentary evidence. But now, you want to go and throw money for the criminal police now. They say for the police who performing. What they getting paid for? What they getting paid for, idiot? What are they getting paid for? So the police here, what's happening? So this is what we do now. Everybody who performing, we got to pay them more. So all the people who working in every ministry, you perform, we got to pay more. That is what all is supposed to do. The police supposed to catch criminals. We don't have to pay you more to catch criminals. All you have to really be noticed, you know. Let's go again. Dr. Rowley's plan to create vetted units within the police service, staffed by higher paid officers of proven integrity, bears all the marks of a superficial quick fix to the deep-seated national crisis of crime. And here it is, the Express is admitted that there's a crisis of crime in this country. Murders, where's the murder toll now? About 320 something? Yeah. Right? I'll get it just now. During the break, I'll get the exact figure. Let's go again, guys. In a country where the average person is terrified by the idea of sharing information with the police about drug dealers, killers, bandits, and other criminals, words like integrity and vetted, when applied to police officers, is a seductive pledge of trust. However, the well-established problem of interlocking relationships between the players in the drugs and gun trade, criminal gangs, and members of the protective services will not be solved with a few emotive words dispensed from the political hustings. And this is factual. At the end of the day, we have heard this before. And it's election, so here, and I continue to say, and I said it in Bamboo recently on our chat, and my son here, so I could say this, I hope the village council wake up and do what they have to do, because at the end of the day, many things going on right now. Like I said, letters supposed to go out to Bobby's and all that, nothing happens yet. So I got to wake them up with some blows, right? So when you look at what is taking place, local government election is in the air. So you're going to have lies. And I posted on the chat recently, when you look at the roadworks in Bamboo, residents were responsible. When you look at the fixing of the community center and cleaning, residents were responsible. The patching of the road, where we raised over $20,000 to patch the road, and we did it ourselves, right? 90% of the work done in Bamboo, it is done by the residents and businessmen of Bamboo number 2. The councillor in the area does little or nothing, and all she does is talk. So who are you going to vote for? Are you that stupid? And I say this to everybody in every constituency, in every region, no matter not constituency, in every region, in every borough. Are you that dumb or dotish to go back and vote for the same people who did nothing in your area? Something had to be psychologically and mentally wrong with all you for all you to go back and do that dotishness. No political party is going to get my vote this election. None. Absolutely none. I am not going to waste my time and go down that road. If you that stupid and you want to go down that road, God bless you. Keep your stupidity. Be stupid by yourself. So let's go again. The former police commissioner alleged, that is Gary Griffith, that the main problem he had with the Prime Minister is that he was trying to direct me, influence me in things that he was out of place with. When a Prime Minister allegedly will pump $35 million into the police service account to try and tell me to use that to hire foreign attorneys to directly try to arrest political opponents, That is not how I am caught. Why it is the ACIB and the white-collar crime people do investigate this? That is a serious allegation being made by a former commissioner of police, but all you're going to interfere with Farley. For what? Because politics again. Politics again. Where the hell is the ACIB? Why the ACIB ain't doing nothing? Anyway, may just welcome our good friends, Automax Rust Remover. And you know, in Trinidad, it have some fellas called scrap iron men. Sometimes you leave iron outside there and hear what happening while it's about to rust. The men and them teeth in it, you know. They that dread, you know. But anyway, if you have any metal surface, or if you're an automotive person and you have a vehicle that you need to just put some rust remover so that your body work will be a lot easier, give them a call. And by the way, you can get it in drums, 18 liters, wholesaler. This is, you call them and they will be able to supply your businesses with top quality products. Again, it's Automax Rust Remover and it's available in drums, gallons, 1 liter and 500 ml. Give them a call, 658-4984 or 321-5903. And not only that, for those of you watching up the islands, if you would like to purchase the products, you can contact them. And as well, they're looking for sales rep for certain areas all over the Caribbean. All right, so let's go again, guys. I'll remember this. Keep that here. We're talking about the police. We're talking about the police. This is in my matter, where Frank Sipasad was the judge. And Frank Sipasad, Justice Frank Sipasad, was so concerned that he wrote that the apparent involvement of a senior khaki-wearing officer in my arrest on the 12th of October 20, and this is since 2017, 6 years ago, is a circumstance which is troubling and requires investigation. The evidence also established that the claimant's prosecution was devoid of justification. Consequently, the court hereby directs that the acting registrar of the Supreme Court shall within 14 days forward to the Commissioner of Police as well as to the head of the Police Complaints Authority copies of all documents, annex exhibits, filed herein together with the trial FTR recording from the trial, the court's substantive order and this assessment summary so that determination can be made as to whether disciplinary charges should be instituted. And then they go on to say the senior officer who alleged, right, the complainant who maliciously prosecuted the claimant, right? So the police service is saying here, right, that here what happening. The officer, something has to be done. I asked the question, did the PCA get any documents? Did the PCA do an investigation? And one of the things I want the ACIB to check out, many senior officers, khaki wearing some of them, have bars all over the place where they have illegal people, illegal Venezuelans working. And I want them to check out, not only that, the Board of Inland Revenue. Many of these public servants are not accounting for millions of dollars in revenue. Right? Check that out too as well. Right? Check it out. And all will see for yourself, because in all these bars and all these things, money like that flowing like water. So I want you all to check and see what's going on there. Right? So let's go again, guys. Oh yeah, let you go.
I will say from the platform tonight, last week, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, elderly folks, they were held up at gunpoint. They were relieved of their items right in their yard. Your Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, and I've worked with many ministers of national security, I can tell you, he's one of the hardest working ministers of national security I have come across.
Yeah, but your in-laws get hold up. Half of this country, look, I was counting the other day, Boto, my brother lost 2 cars. Dinky, car stolen. My other brother, Kaku, he had a car stolen. With my brothers, with 10 brothers, and by the way, like I say, in my family, it's 10 sons and all are boys. There are no boys that are girls. Right? So when you look at it, half of my family where the males are concerned, cars stolen. But we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem, folks. Things going nice. Let's go again.
Because I will tell you, like she loved you, like she loved no other man.
I want you to show the slide with Heinz talking about, there's a slide with Heinz talking about the music that people listen to and the respect and all that. Could we get that slide, please, guys? Right? Let me know if you have that there. Oops. Okay. Double check that for me, please. But there's a thing with Heinz where he stated, and I think it's in today's papers. Let me see if I get it here, because I want to show what he said. All right, so let me just check that here now, guys, because it's something. Right, good. Justin, I'm sending a screenshot to you, right? This is from the Newsday. So I'm sending this to you now as well. I'll send besides this one, I'll send another one to you now so that you could see. Right. Good. All right. I'm getting the other screenshot here now. So good. Good. Here we go. All right. I'm sending the other one. Let me know when it's ready, please. You see, what I want to do, I want to juxtapose what Heinz is saying with what the Prime Minister is doing. Because, you see, yes, it is society, what we listen to. It depends. As a young man, I choose to listen to positive music. And for me, at that point in time in my life, nobody here happening. I remember there was a song, what she is just 16 years old, yeah. Right? That didn't make me run away with no 16-year-old girl as a big man. And then there were other songs as well, which was seemingly somewhat inappropriate. It didn't turn me into a bandit. I didn't go and rape nobody, right? And then it have the other word, boom, bye, bye, you know, right? At the end of the day, don't sing it, buddy, right? At the end of the day, right, it didn't have influence on me. And everybody that I know in my family that listen to music, whether it be chutney, whether it be Indian, whatever it is, it had no negative impact on their life. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to what type of music you choose to listen to and what the parents allow in their house. Right, let's go with that. Right, Heinz, gangster music has negative impact on society. He now realized that. He wake up, I don't know, like he was sleeping all the time, and what is that boom, all of a sudden a vision just come in his head. Right, and then he goes on to say, could we see the article? Right, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Heinz says the music and film industries contribute significantly to young people learning about and practicing violence. Come back to me for now. Where in Trinidad and Tobago have you heard a gangster rob somebody and blame it on a movie? Or blame it on a song? Where? I've never heard of it. You see, crime is based on opportunity. Let me tell you something. Many of these fellas and them who commit crime, it's not that they can't get work, you know. This is what the PNM, here happening. The PNM, I believe the PNM have a school for training criminals. Because when you look at a large amount of these criminals and them, and ask them who they vote for, because in fact, if you look at the history and many of the areas where many people come from who commit criminal acts, you will see it is from PNM hotspots, and that is factual. There's no denying that. So the PNM is like they have a school for criminals. And then you have this one talking about gangster music and video. Rubbish. Rubbish. Let's go again. Heinz said the world, what he was speaking at the end, right? Heinz said the world is experiencing extreme violence. And why it is there's always, you know, they never talk about the world experiencing growth and experiencing, you know, financial, you know, the country is blossoming. They don't talk about that. But when it comes to crime all over the world, I have went to many countries. And I went to Miami recently, and I accidentally left my wallet on the seat. Come back, the wallet there. In Trinidad, you ain't had time to even close the door and the wallet gone. You understand? And man, don't spend your money even before you realize it. That is Trinidad. Let's go again. It is because of this, the government recently began viewing crime and violence as public health concerns. And there he goes on again to talk his gobar. As usual, normal thing. Talking a bunch of nonsense. So one of the things that I wanted to show is that one of the most disrespectful things. I only remember when I was talking to Rowley about certain things taking place in the country, right? And one is he to blame X, Y, and Z. And then Rowley tell me what? Case his, K-Pax. And then I responded to Rowley, I would, but I cannot tell the difference between your head and your K-Pax. Right? I responded to him because I have no respect for that man. So when you have a prime minister behaving like that, how the hell you expect? When you behaving like a wajang on the platform and people clapping so because they dotish just like you, what do you expect? What do you expect? What are you grooming? What are you doing? Your own people, right? You tell them you're going to raise gas, right? We're going to have more crime. Price of flour going up 10 times. Because, like I said, half of those people, I don't know if something wrong with them or if they're just plain brain dead. Because how could you celebrate with what is going on in this country right now? Look at the crime. Look at the crime. Right? In the last 8 years, right? About 4,000 African men, right? About 4,000 African men were murdered under the PNM regime. About 4,000. That is a whole constituency. That is a whole community. All you're telling me that we see 4,000 African men murdered, their blood flowing on the streets, their blood fertilizing the soil of this land, and all you're still going to vote for the people who are responsible for that? Nah, man. Something have to be wrong with all you. All you can't do that. Your own community is being plucked out one by one by a government that is supposed to care, and they do not, because their ideas are bankrupt. The ideas from the National Security Minister is bankrupt. The Prime Minister himself is an embarrassment not only to this country but to the Caribbean. And yes, Olu will support that. And this is Olu Prime Minister. This is just a collection of dotish things that he has said. And by the way, let me just welcome Mitsu Air Limited, where you get quality air conditioned units. And I would like to thank a gentleman who called me last week, and he said he bought one of the units for his commercial property. And it was over a year and something, and not one problem that he has had, and the service is exceptional. And that's what I keep telling people. I mean, as God is my witness. Last week I talked about green energy. My wife called me. Today, as God is my witness, my wife called me to tell me the bottom piece from the cassette in the kitchen falling down. And this is a green energy unit. Right? And as I said before, that unit has been given hell. It's just a matter of time before I take that and kick it out. So if it's one unit to do not buy a green energy at all. It is not AGE. Do not waste your money. All right? So take a listen to the Prime Minister and Fitzgerald Hines and them talking about rap and gangster music. No, the Prime Minister and people like all you are supposed to be example for our youth. But when the youth see all behaving like this, how the hell you expect them to behave? Take a look.
Because I will tell you, like she loved you, like she loved no other man. And because she knows that I love women, she thinks I love any woman. I have taste. And when I don't take on, she unfurls back. The lady is naked all alone. And she's scratching and ordering. The real lady is coming out. The lady in her is coming out. When they say, bring out the what? It's coming out. A lawyer who was on the verge of being your attorney general, sucking from the nipple of the prime minister. Because they believe that they will create all kind of Nancy story of irrelevances and make that the flavor of the day in the news. I have instructed Faris Al-Rawi not to respond to any more foolishness when coming up with the system. If she has a problem, she has it still. And if she could find a candidate in South Fernando West, bring him, bring her, with licks in your waist, licks in your face, and licks all over your paper place. And she could jump high, she could jump low. She could drink this, she could drink that. She could back in the dog, because they know she can. I tell you. I'm coming with a coattail telling you, vote for Kamala. That is tantamount to hugging up a porcupine to go to bed. And if you want to know what happens when you don't properly oversee those expenditures, look at the people who have been managing the affairs, and you will see government ministers who came into office looking like Miss Howard Chat. And you will see government ministers who came into office looking like Miss Howard Chat. Prakash Ramadan, a member of the cabinet, telling you he has a safe seat in St. Augustine and he wants to go back for another 5 years to do this to you. To rape us with an umbrella and worse, to open the umbrella after. That's what they're doing to us.
Prime Minister, I'd like to take the conversation to a more social now, the social climate. You look on social media.
It's Christmas time, we should have some drinks then.
Well, perhaps of the non-alcoholic flavor.
Well, that is not drink. But of course, like a woman, you got to groom her every day. Otherwise, it turns into a pasture. You could behave as an effective opposition leader. I think the country is better for that. But geometry is not really the way to deal with these things.
Was that the word you used?
I choose my words very carefully. I choose my word very carefully. You could behave as an effective opposition leader. I think the country is better for that. But geometry is not really the way to deal with these things. 1/3 of the murders in recent times are domestic violence or domestic issues. And then that, you call on the Prime Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in your choice of men. Last Carnival...
Okay, come back to me. Now, I told people that I decided to separate, when I had supported Rowley in 2015, I did so because the UNC and its present formation, one, the BJP agenda. Kamala is a supporter of the BJP and the government abroad. The BJP government is an anti-Muslim government. Muslims have been targeted, and I am not going to stand for that. My religion means a lot to me. As I keep telling people, this mark on my head is not the sign of a hypocrite. I repeat, this sign on my head is not the sign of a hypocrite. My wife, my family, my son, my daughter-in-law, everybody, we have decided that we are not going to vote. Because on one side, you have this idiot that I just played. And then on the other side, you have the pushing of an agenda which is against our faith completely. And for those of you who are quite comfortable taking your religion and selling your soul and supporting the dotishness, you have all right to, right? And in my religion, there's a very simple statement. If you have no shame, do as you please. Those of you who want your son to go up and support this type of politics, the LGBTQRSTUV, and then you're bawling what? That the PNM had the same thing? Well, brother man, at the end of the day, devil on both sides, you just decide to choose one. Or for those of you who have your daughters involved in this, here what happening? Not me. My religion more important than the politics. Right, so what we're going to do is that, one of the things I wanted to mention is that in 2015, when I supported him, there was a reason. And then 2 years after, I decided, here what happened, I can't support this man. Not in hell. And how many of you remember there was an incident in Monroe Road where guns were found in his ceiling? And Rowley blamed the people in that mosque. And he went on, here what happened? In a video, he went on to target those people. And I imagine that so many things happened to me, and not one person ever defended me from that area. And I was the only person that stood up and defended them. And I stood up and I said, no, Prime Minister, you're bloody wrong. And when the Prime Minister went on to publicly make the statement, I separated myself and I said, go to hell. Because here what's happening, whether it is because the Deobandis or the Darulum, I do not subscribe to that type of belief. I do not subscribe to that. I stay far away from that. And they know that. I'm not into this halal certification, money-making thing. I run things differently. My religion is not about money. And what means that some of their thinking is different. But I respect their way of thinking. But the reality of it is that when you could disrespect them the way you did, I have some serious problems with that, and I will defend them. And this is what Rowley said, and I decided here I'm hard luck. So for those of you who are Muslim and supporting this, you might as well just pack up. Say here you give up. Right? All remember this? Take a look.
Last Carnival, as a matter of fact, before Carnival, we have had to answer questions in the Parliament about what we are doing, about our citizens who are leaning towards terrorism abroad and whatever. You know, that story? Because some of our people have gone abroad and become poster boys for the Iraqi terrorists and ISIS and so on. And we, the government, have to answer in the Parliament to the opposition who are doing that job. They ask us questions, and I think on 2 or 3 occasions we had to answer them and the main answer we are giving them is that we were monitoring those who were so inclined to be sympathetic to that situation. It's a world situation. Virtually everywhere in the world was facing it, and still facing it. We told the Parliament we're monitoring. Coming up towards Carnival, some of the people that we were monitoring came on the radar big time to us from abroad, because we are cooperating with some of the bigger countries who have more resources abroad, and they would assist us with information that is valuable to us. And you would know at Carnival time we told you what we had to do and so on. One of the things we did, we raided, the security services raided a couple of mosques. When that was done, there were those who took it upon themselves to go and be telling this country that the government is anti-Muslim, the government is anti-this, and telling the international community how the government capriciously was doing this and that to places of worship and so on. You remember that story? Today, one of the very mosques that we had to raid at Carnival time, on credible information that the security services had, we have found within that place of worship lethal weapons, arms and ammunition in a place of worship. I want to ask you tonight, given what we found.
Good. And let me correct the Prime Minister there. Let me correct the records one time because that is a lie. It was found in his ceiling when men were doing work at that mosque. And they contacted the police. And here it is, for elections during that period, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago goes on to lie to the public about this whole scenario, thereby lambasting the Muslims and targeting the Muslims in that area and basically saying something which was totally baseless, void of fact. And I decided, no way in hell, hard luck. Keep your bloody prime ministership by yourself. I'm not interested. And I've said it time and time again, that when we look in the whole scenario of things, today we have somebody breathing their last breath as we speak. And that person was probably killing themselves for politics. Look at where they are now. And the reality of it is that many of these politicians, as crooked as they are, you cannot go as a Muslim and support somebody who is an oppressor on one hand, and on the other hand, have a set of this and that, men as women, women as man, all kind of thing in a party, and you supporting that. Something have to be wrong with your faith. You have to be sick to support that. I am not interested in supporting that. Those of you who want to wear on the yellow and support that, you fix up. You're willing to sell your soul? Fix up. Those of you who want to wear the red, fix up. So sell your soul. That is you. Anyway, let me just welcome Cure to this segment because I need to take a break. I was told that I haven't even taken my first break. Right? So let me just welcome Cure to this segment. For those of you who are watching this program for the first time and have never heard about Cure, well, when we end up the program, I'll play the video. But this Cure is basically manufactured in the UK. And Cure was selling in Trinidad when it came in for about $10, $11 because of the huge freight cost to bring it in. Remember, freight was all kind of $15,000 from the UK. Now freight has gone down, so the price of Cure has essentially gone down. And I would like to thank SM Jalil for doing this because not many companies, do this sort of thing. In fact, many of them, like Linda's and Kiss, they find excuses to drop prices. And again, you get shoved. But the reality of it is that this is a product that works. And I continue to tell people, for those of you who are elderly and you have your joint pain, you have your back pain, you have your breathing problems, all you have to do is start using this for only a month. Only 1 month. Try it and see how it works out. For those of you who children can't focus, instead of this dotishness that many parents have them drinking, that get them addicted and they get these children with diabetes from young, this is something that benefits them. This is something that wakes up the body, it wakes up the cells, and it works. I use it every single morning and evening. Call that number now, 375-1100 or 299-6263 or 292-1923. Call those numbers now and they will deliver it absolutely free to your home. I continue to say, if you have a mother or a father, this should be in your house and they should be drinking this every single day. Because, my friend, the only way you wouldn't have this in your house is if you're looking to get property and you don't want them around too long. So organize and do the right thing. All right, so we're going to take a break. Remember, we are watching Breaking Barriers right on IBN Channel 8. We'll be back right after this.
No more games. You always break the table when you lose. Promise? 4110 Jigsaw. Watch it. Don't you dare. Ronix.
Welcome to the home of Cure Oxygen Spring Water. A breathtaking 1,000 feet above sea level, where the elements collide. in an area of outstanding natural beauty. This land, our land, embodies nature, and our methods respect it. We use clean energy, solar, hydro, wind, to bring you the cleanest water. Every drop, sustainably sourced from pristine Cornish farmland. From the raw beauty of rainfall to our state-of-the-art bottling facility, situated on an ancient underground lake. We're reminded of the timeless power of pure water. But it doesn't stop here. The secret of cure lies in the pure oxygen we so carefully infuse. To breathe life into every bottle of pure water, without chemicals or additives. Cure pushes the boundaries of what water can do, uniting life's most essential ingredients: water and oxygen. The next generation of hydration. Pure oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVRF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And welcome back, my friends. Of course, you're watching Breaking Barriers right here on IBN Channel 8. And of course, this segment brought you courtesy Extra Care. And you know, every time I mention these products, I normally get WhatsApp messages from people telling me that they started using this and the product works better than some of the big brands outside there, and the product lasts longer. And one of the things that I have found is that the disinfectant spray, the particles, when you spray it, right, the particles are a lot smaller. So what happens is that you end up using less. Where it have some of them when you press it, and it's like the whole liquid just jump out of the can, bloops, right? You're good to go. Make sure and check out for Extra Care products at supermarkets throughout Trinidad and Tobago. You know, one thing I had mentioned last week, I had mentioned about the supermarkets that really try to make a difference when it comes to pricing. And it is sad that many of these suppliers who are outside there who could reduce the cost. I mean, I see a pack of quarter-liter milk, 1 liter milk, is $18 now, Dred? $18, what happened? Them cow and them what? They paying VAT and tax and or what? What really going on? This is madness. Let's go again, guys. Right. Good. Right. This is, right, here we go. Right. Good. This is the Integrity Commission, right? They're talking about complaint, and you must make a complaint. And in 2 years, what you did, this complaint was made, Buddy, on the 13th of December 2021. 2 years ago, I wrote the Integrity Commission and to ask for an investigation into why somebody who is a member of a state board spending millions of dollars in foreign exchange, and 2 stinking years now, the Integrity Commission cannot say why they have not completed this investigation. 2 years, an investigation which is supposed to take 1 month. And of course, we have a next slide. Could we see the people? And here it is, the Integrity Commission of Trinidad and Tobago, do the right thing always. That is their motto. To make new provisions for the prevention of corruption of persons in public life. Well, all you have 2 years and have not done anything So always a waste of time, an absolute waste of time. The chairman, Professor Rajendra Ramlogan, the chairman, answer me tonight, Professor Rajendra. How the hell is an investigation that is supposed to take a month taking 2 years? How? That whole board should be fired forthwith, every single one of them gone, because I cannot understand for the life of me something as simple as that. Here what happened. A man bringing in products valued 70, 80,000, hundreds of thousands of US spending every month, Moody. Hundreds of thousands of US. You telling me that, good evening, sir. We're from the Integrity Commission, the investigative department. We have taken note of an investigation, of a letter that we have received in regards to your spending on US currency. We have noticed in your compound products valued millions of US currency. So what we are doing, we are officially communicating with you today within 30 days to advise where all this currency is coming from. 30 days. That is all you need. And if the gentleman failed to provide, well then here what's happening. The Integrity Commission could act. Because this gentleman is in public life. But the Integrity Commission is operating like how some people in the police service operate now. And I could say publicly now that they serve no purpose. They are a waste of time, and all of them should be fired. Every single one of them. Because quite frankly, 1-2 years to do something that should take, let me give them a little lie, 90 days. Something have to be wrong. I write them today. I ain't going to tell you I write them and tell them. Because it's ridiculous. Imagine that 2 years for an investigation and nothing. Nothing. Waste our time. Let's go again, guys. Jamaica has refused to grant diplomatic immunity and privileges to the same-sex spouse of an American diplomat, fueling tensions between the Caribbean nation and the United States. Imagine Jamaica. Right? Jamaica is stronger against than Trinidad, by the way, because in Jamaica, I don't think they allow them in Parliament and the Senate like we just do here. Right? You have a man carrying purse and all kind of thing here, that dotishness. I don't know why we just allow this shippiness. Right? So go back to that slide. In turn, the United States has denied a request by the Jamaican government to extend the stay of 3 diplomats stationed in Jamaica's embassy and consulates in the United States. Media reports of the Jamaica has said the issue was sparked at the United States earlier this year made a request to Jamaica that it grant diplomatic immunity and privileges to the married same-sex partner of a diplomat. All you come now, man. And the Jamaican government rejected. Damn right. Well done, Jamaica government. Well done. Well done. Don't tolerate that stupidness at all. Hard luck. Let's go again, guys. Our customs delays eroding freight savings. Now, many of you know, and I mentioned it earlier on before, that the cost of importation has dropped significantly. And what happened is that come $18,000, now freight is down to $3,000. So therefore, many of the products that you had before, I mean, when you spread it across the savings, you save something. But where the problem lies now is that a container which is supposed to come in and leave the port within a week, that is not happening. And not happening for 2 reasons. 1, customs is short staff, and 2, the amount of load that in certain departments cannot handle the load. So the reality of it is that customs is being blamed for government not providing them with sufficient staff to do what is necessary. So again, government is the one to blame for you catching your tail and for prices to increase, not customs, not some of the suppliers, but when you have to pay demurrage and rent, port rent and all that, especially when it is not your fault. You know, it is unfair. Let's go again. Over $160 million in vehicles stolen thus far for this year, 2023. All you hear what I'm telling all you? $160 million in vehicles stolen so far. And what is the stolen vehicle section doing to update how they catch criminals? In this country, as small as it is, you know, recently they found a chop shop in South, in the bush. Police have a helicopter park up. They have national security helicopter. You telling me that they cannot use that helicopter and tour certain areas at low heights and check out the areas that have things going on or not? I mean, a scrapyard is something you can't miss from 100 or 200 feet in the air, or maybe higher. Come now, man. What it is all I have by knock. And by the way, you see, that is why people don't trust the police, because you think people don't know where these cars are going, but they know if they tell the police that they're telling, that policeman probably going to tell the criminal partners, and the criminal partner is going to come down and put on a work on you and your family. So there's no trust. There's absolutely no trust. Let's go again, guys. As he lamented, and as I've always said, I am never going to put his head upright on this program. I have no intention to. Someone keeps calling me, and I'm live on the program. Send a WhatsApp message now. Oh, geez. Right? Let's go. As he lamented corruption in Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the TTPS Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on Saturday offered monetary incentives for officers of integrity. You know, this is the height of dotishness. The PM was speaking at a public meeting at Harris Promenade, San Fernando, as the government and other political parties ramp up, blah, blah, blah. Rowley said talks with National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines were followed by an agreement to accept the creation of vetted unit within arms of national security, assisted by the United States, for which those officers could be paid more. Well, let me go again, mate. Let's go again. You know, this is a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister about this whole thing with Farley and the tape and all that drama. And this is a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister. And check the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. Right? When it ends, setting the record straight, we are the People's National Movement. You see, this is the problem. You cannot separate your politics from who you are, but everything, and you should be ashamed to put we are the PNM, because the same PNM is the reason it have nearly 300 plus murders, 320 something murders. That is the reason. And all you both saying about that? Unheard of crime, corruption. We are the PNM. Yeah, no, all you is the PNM, not we are the PNM. Let's go again, guys. Right. Okay, no, we'll show that afterwards. Right, so again, now we're going to show afterwards. Right, good. So this is where I start to organize to take some calls, and it's 9:20 already. Right, so for those of you who would like to call in, you can do so now based on what I've discussed, or along your own lines, whatever you feel to discuss. But, you know, like I said, if it's election period, so you know someone will be dotish. Watch me. Call that number, tell it to call them before we start to take calls. Right, call that number now. Right, so I'm just making a call here to deal with something.
Hello?
Safraz.
Yes?
Assalamu alaikum. Inshan Ishmael here.
Welcome, Sam. Yeah, Inshan.
I'm calling you live on the program, Breaking Barriers. Well, of course, let me just introduce Safraz. Safraz was the former councillor for the Arangways area, right? And what happened is that he was a stalwart in the UNC and assisted them in many areas. In fact, he used to be on the ground quite often. And what happened is that you are now under the banner of the with Duke, with the PDP. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right. tell me, you were telling me something about, and I mentioned it tonight, about about what is going on in the UNC and about a lot of what is taking place. And I'd mentioned as well that, you know, Kamala being a supporter of the BJP, and the BJP is actually anti-Muslim. You know, you had seen some things yourself in regards to being uncomfortable as a Muslim. Is that correct?
Well, John, to be honest, with the UNC, I turned that page, and I'm looking ahead, focusing on the campaign to win the trust and the favor of the people. So I rather not talk about that on air at this moment in time. I look, as a famous politician said, yesterday was yesterday, today is today.
All right, and how are things? So how are things going with your campaign at present?
All praise and thanks due to the Almighty Inshan. The people are receiving me very, very favorably. First of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity. Actually, it caught me by surprise. I didn't realize you were going to call me. Fantastic work you're doing. I never really got to tell you this formally, but your voice for the people outside there and you stand up for what is right. Might not have agreed with everything that you did before, but eventually I see that you are a stalwart and a voice for the people. Thank you for that, Inshan. You please continue. My campaign is going very well. I am a son of the soil in Arangos and Elsgrow. The people are recognizing that my efforts in serving the community so far, Inshan. And you know what? A color is just that, a color. But the real test is what you could do for the people and how you could improve the people's lives. And I think I am doing a lot for the community, and that will carry me through, God willing.
Right, but how many candidates have the PDP fielded in Trinidad?
I know that we contesting all in Port of Spain. There will be 4 in Sao Lavantil, Separe, Pinal Debe, there are 2, and San Grande, there are 4. So we have a good geographic spread across the country. Okay, and so far, like you said, the ground, you're getting some positive vibes from the people on the ground. Very positive, and the people recognize performance. The people recognize when you are sincere and you stand up with the people. They see that in me, and I belong to the community. I am not somebody implanted into the community from another community. I am born and bred within the Elsgrow, Arangos, Don Miguel area. And you know what? When, for example, when we were without water for 4 days last week, I felt the pain that I was without water too, and I had to use bottled water by the 3rd day to bathe and so on. Whereas the representative not from the area and would not have felt the pain that we felt. All right, fully understand. Well, what happens is that I have to now end it all, but all the best to you on your campaign and all the best in the future. Suffers. Thank you, Brother Inshan. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. And of course, what happens is that I know he didn't want to delve into it, but what happens is that he had stated categorically but that there were certain things which were clearly anti-Islamic sentiments being expressed to him, and he had told me that. And what happened is that I understand that he doesn't want to go back into that, but the reality of it is that I've said it before and I'll say it again. The present formation of the UNC, really and truly, does not deserve even going anywhere in power. Kamala needs to go. Those of you who cannot understand that, maybe the Grey Goose is affecting you too much, but the reality of it is that she needs to step down. New leadership, you need to get rid of 3/4 of those people there and let some young people come up and take way. Let's go. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
I have 2 things I would like you to sign up for me, please.
Sure.
The first is the high-profile meeting to find the rogue element in the police service. If the Prime Minister could handpick police officers, high-ranking police officers in a meeting to deal with rogue officers, he must be of the belief that all the high-ranking officers are not members of the rogue element in the police service. That is one. The other thing is, we recently spent around 20 million plus to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Carnival.
Yes.
And when you go to the banks in Trinidad and Tobago, you cannot get Eastern currency, Eastern Caribbean currency.
Correct.
So you could get U.S. currency at a limited amount. You go to the bank, you tell you, you can get $200 and things like that.
Yeah,
you cannot access Eastern dollars, which is Caribbean.
Correct.
What did we spend that amount of money to celebrate when there is nothing? There is no unity among ourselves. So why are we spending that kind of money?
No, remember Rowley had said, if you like Guyana so much, all you go. Remember he had made that statement, and at the end of the day, you know, he have his issues with the Barbados Prime Minister too as well, because she's so well liked. And at the end of the day, it's all about jealousy and envy.
Imagine the other Caribbean countries do have the resources that we have, oil, gas. Guyana now elevate themselves to that. And Barbados, Grenada, well, the Eastern Caribbean, their dollar have more value than our own. Why is it the private industries are telling us how much profit they make, the banks and other agencies, how much profit they make every year, and every time the politicians talk, they tell us how bad the economy is and the treasury empty? Could you find some information? Could you get some kind of clarity for these statements to make sense for me, please?
Thank you very much, Kola. Thank you so much. And you know, what you normally hear is after they win an election, what happens is that, well, we come and the treasury empty. Before the election, things looking good. What happens is that the country stable. We are very liquid right now, so that they can lie and make you believe that things going well. That is how they lie to you. Let's go again. Hello? Hello?
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Mr. Inshan, I just want to comment on the TT BizLink upgrade that this Ministry of Trade did. Because apparently they fixed something that was working perfect. Because presently, right now, nobody cannot pay online for Bureau of Standards. You cannot get the fees. You cannot access.
Yeah, that's the TT BizLink, right?
Yeah. And you cannot even get to apply for permits.
And not only that, with everything being delayed, containers now have excess rent. They will have excess damage, correct?
Exactly. So I want to find out if the government, the Ministry of Trade, is speaking with the Port Authority and Point Lisa Port, Trideco, to waive rent because of their stupidity, because TT BizLink officials in Nicholas Towers, when you call them, they point blank telling you that they don't know how to access the system. They don't know how to process anything. They cannot give us any guideline whatsoever.
No, but didn't they say that on the 17th it would be back up and everything would be back on?
Yes, but nobody seems to be getting on. And even if you do get on, in some instances, the second instance, you can't.
Well, boys, somebody get a nice fix up, and this is what they're giving us.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand the logic in this upgrade.
None.
Saying all government services. And presently, from since the 17th to currently, presently, now, at this moment, you can't access any damn thing. But
you know, one would think that while you're building the backbone in the background, that the older services would continue to run, and then you do an immediate switchover, which happens overnight. Like in modern countries, it happens instantaneously, where they notify you at 5 a.m., we will be switching over to our new system, and boom. So you telling me these people so stupid that for them to switch over to a new system, the other system have to be dead too?
And the thing about it is there's no proper and informative guidelines to navigate through the new system. None whatsoever.
Wow. All right, Kola, thank you so much. Hey, we out of time. Let me just take 2 last calls. Hey, you know, it's this shoe that I'm wearing here. I forgot when we went to Miami, I was supposed to carry a dress shoe. And I ran in Walmart. And this shoe, $29.95 US. And you would not believe how comfortable this shoe is. $29.99. I ain't ashamed, you know. I just wear cheap thing. It don't make sense. I mean, sometimes you can see me with a little kind of cool, a little Perry, something. But I have no problems wearing a $2 jersey and a $1 socks or whatever. That damn thing don't bother me. No? Let's go. Hello. 2 last calls. Hello.
Hello. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Inchan. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. You're live.
Yes. First time caller. I was trying to get through a while now with you. Two issues. One is on the Eastern Main Road in front of Mount Hope Hospital by that traffic light. Yeah, in front of the hospital, the amount of garbage on a daily basis very high.
Which part?
And in front of, when you come off the highway at Champlain and you're heading to go east, right at that crossing there with the traffic light is. A lot of garbage. And then the other one, in Philly City, if you leave Philly City and you're going down Pier Road,
right,
5 seconds drive for the last 5 weeks and more, there's a backhoe parked up on the left-hand side on the pavement and quarter of it is on the road. And since that accident by Bobby's there, I have been trying to call to tell you, somebody need to do something about this.
Okay, do me a favor.
Driving, and not only that, so many police and things up and down and police live in the village and nobody reporting this thing.
Okay, do me a favor. Ask anybody in the area there if they could send me a photo, and I will have the mayor look at it and the police look at it, and we'll try to get that sorted out before Monday for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome.
Great program.
All the best. Take care. Do we have one more call or that's it? Hello? All right, that's it. All right, good. So this is where we have to wrap up 2 things. One, just to let you know, for the chairs that we have some in the blue, black, and gray available, and deliveries are free. Tomorrow, I believe they're going to South. They're going to Freeport, Claxton Bay, San Fernando, Princestown, Marabella, those areas. So for those of you no, not the chairs. The tables, sorry, right, for $450, and we are offering free delivery. That's the gray, blue, and black folding tables. It doesn't fold in half, the legs fold, right? And these are excellent quality. So for those of you who would like delivery, just contact me, 684-4762, or contact the office tomorrow at 663-4762. That's 663-4762. And then lastly, can I get the Ronex background? Right, in about 1 week's time, right, as most of you know, I represent this company in the Caribbean. And what happens is that it's been over a year now we have been representing them. And literally thousands of tools have been sold through hardwares and directly. And we have had less than 0.1% return for minor, like for example, the switch get dust, or one is that they damage the cord, those sort of things. Right? So I just want to show you this video that we did. Take a look at this. Right? This is a grinder. This grinder has been in use for over a year now. Cordless grinder. Milwaukee, you would pay about $4,000 for something like this. And this is a 4 amp. And something like this you'll get for about $1,000. Right? And then we have the, where is it again, boy? The jackhammer. Right? A jackhammer like this, you would normally pay about $12,000 to $14,000 for. And you could get this for half price. You could get it for about $6,000 to $7,000. That size of jackhammer, which is big. I think it's about a 30 pound or something like that. And in about 1 week's time, I am going to move like a piper. In 1 week's time, you're going to see some unprecedented pricing. Literally thousands of welding plans will be sold, as well as other items. So stay tuned, because we'll be doing it on Facebook and otherwise. And lastly, I would like to thank Trinidad and Tobago. On Sunday, was it Saturday or Sunday, I launched, can I get my Grillian background? I launched our lamb burger on Saturday, and it sold out within 1 hour. And staff had to prep more, and then again, before we closed up in the night, sold out again. Right? So I would like to thank all those of you. After 5-6 years, we finally introduced the lamb burger, And of course, it's not cooked on the beef grill because it's cooked on the chicken grill, because we know people that eat lamb, most of them who don't eat beef, they will eat lamb or they will eat chicken. So, and if you have a problem with it cooking on the chicken grill, we will cook it separately on the kitchen for you without a problem. All right? So again, I look forward to seeing you on Friday and Saturday and Sunday down at the Baraka grounds. And of course, this weekend, the launch of Soups and Subs. This weekend, a brand new place at Baraka grounds. Check us out on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Soups and Subs. The girl who is there now, she had done soups for the expo, and it's sold out. Some of the best soup you could get. And I am a soup man. I like my soup almost every day. Right? So look out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the opening, the brand new launch of Soups and Subs this weekend, Baraka grounds. All right? So again, thank you. God bless you. And I will catch you next week for Breaking Barriers. This program, there is a repeat on IBN at 9 p.m. on Saturday. Take care, folks. Let me just hail out Tanti Salisha there from Arangwes, the footsie specialist. All the best to you. And, of course, we're looking forward to you coming back and being a part of, everything we do there at the grounds. All right? So take care, folks. And I'll catch you down at, wait. I forget Boy Moody. Semi-finals football Friday, Baraka grounds. Semi-final football, and then on Saturday, the finals. Tune into my Facebook page or check us out. It's going to be a massive line there this Friday and Saturday. Football like that. Bring down the family line. And let me just hail out my good friend Richard Jagesa on the launch of his, the setting up of his own practice setting in Chaguanas on Ramsran Street. All the best to you, my brother. You have just begun the journey. I could see this young man being the Attorney General in a few years' time. If he continues to go down the road he's going, of course, I will need to get a little cut from that, for promoting him. And I'll $2 and no problem. All right, so take care, folks. On behalf of all of us, good job, Justin, and of course, Saif, well done. And of course, to you, all viewers, God bless. Take care, be safe. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.